I don't want to be dramatic, but it might be time for you to make the move. This is the Real Estate Minute Show. I am Jay Lieberman. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you're a longtime watcher, I hope you learned something. I hope you saved money and got something out of it. If you have not, and this is your first time in, welcome. Here we talk about building wealth and legacy and real estate and investing. And I'm a real estate agent and a real estate attorney, and I kind of bring that flavor to little short videos here on helping to avoid certain things, lose money, things that I've lost tons of money on, bad stories and also good stories. So that's why we're here, so that we can all try to survive together. And today I have something that, like I mentioned earlier, I hope it doesn't come across as being dramatic. I made a move from California after being there for 52 years to North Carolina just about a year and a half ago. And so I'm coming from that place of actually having witnessed the pain of moving across the country, leaving friends and family and moving over to a whole nother world, right? I'm an East Coast person now instead of a West Coast person. But my kids were out here. So they went to college. One of them went out here. The other one's going to school out here. So it brought us here. But it might be time for you, if you've been thinking about it, because a lot of you probably heard a lot of people are moving around the country, kind of reshuffling a little bit. And it's usually because of housing affordability. A lot of it has to do with politics and stuff, but that's not what we're about here. It's about affordability. And so coming from California, for instance, one of the most unaffordable places in the country. It is number 49, I believe. New York and California are always kind of tied for the most unaffordable and most difficult place to live, and where most of the renters are, because it's so unaffordable to buy something to live in, to buy a house. So if you are interested in establishing a life in a house and you rent, and time is getting away from you. You maybe, if you're still in your 20s, things are fine, but you start thinking about your 30s and then your 40s, and then all of a sudden you start thinking about, wow, do I still want to live in this apartment when I'm 45? And if you're a renter, that's fine. A lot of people just rent. They don't want to own something, and God bless. I think that's great. They do different things with their money. They invest in different stuff. So it's not for everybody. But if that's your dream, if you do want to own a home of your own someday, a townhouse, a condo, anything like that, then it might be time to look at the unaffordability of where you're at. It's not likely to change anytime soon. Look, I've been in the real estate business for a long time, and I've seen cycles. This is, I think there will be a small correction and such in the housing market, but there's certain factors that are present in these unaffordable areas that are not going anywhere soon. They're not just housing is popular and it brings up demand and prices go up for homes. It's not just a supply and demand of homes anymore. There's a lot of outside forces and laws and things that are bearing upon the unaffordability in those areas. It's super complicated, but it's not just if more houses go on the market, prices are going to drop dramatically. They'll drop a little bit, but there's other things at play. I could beat a dead horse on that stuff, so I'll stop talking about that. But the point of this today is to say it might be time to really think about it. Now, don't rush into moving somewhere. Think about it. It took me 5 years to prep and plan for a move like this. It may not take you that long. I just don't like change. Okay, so I'm kind of a creature of habit. My wife, Michelle, she would move in 2 months. Me, it takes years. But depending on what it is, start thinking about it. Start talking to people in other areas. Get a feel for the situation and what's going on. Because I got to tell you, a very nice house in where I live that somebody can move into is $400,000 to $600,000, sometimes brand new. And it's 2 to 3 times that in the areas that they live currently. Do you want to own? Do you want to be part of a community that's smaller, less people, less congestion, less crime, better amenities, closer to things, nature, outside, all that kind of stuff? Or do you want to stay where you're at? And that's fine too. But if you want a better life, it's now time to start thinking about moving out of a situation which is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety and killing dreams, to a very large country that has a lot of different areas might be suitable for you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Real Estate Minute Show. We will see you next week. Later.